Now, for the people that's watching that may not know, where's the church located at?
We're located in the East Pittsburgh community of London. It's formerly the old East Pittsburgh Pentecostal Church. We moved into a new building there and changed the name to Freedom Christian Fellowship. But it's really easy to find. If you go on 25 north past the State Police Post in London, you go about a mile and you'll see a BP station on the left. Just dip down over the hill through the railroad tunnel and we're right there on the right.
Tell us, from your own words and your own feelings, the feeling that you get out of ministering to these people, these kids, and just doing your part and work for the Lord.
Oh, there's no feeling like that. To me, that's where the ministry is, outside the four walls of the church. My pastor said I've got to calm down a little because I'm getting consumed by wanting to go and do, which that's the burden that God has put on my life, because when you see these kids, they're the innocent victims in all this, and they are so receiving and they're so loving, and they're confused about why all this happened, but then again they're just overjoyed that we're out there to help them. That we came all the way from Kentucky to Oklahoma. They were so like, you're from Kentucky, like we were in another planet or something. But it was just great. And all the way home from the trip, I teared up, I cried, because there's so many families out there that once the glory and the media and everyone leaves, then they're left to pick up the pieces.
And it really reaches out to so many people. And, there's so much to do out here. I mean, there's work to do. And he's just looking for laborers and people that's willing to go out into this harvest. That's part of the harvest right there, is to show love and compassion and care for your fellow people.
Absolutely. And we're not done yet with Oklahoma. And that's one thing we're trying to do. We met up with a family out there as a single mother with 9 children. She was inside the Plaza Towers Elementary when the storm came. I was actually pinned beneath a car, and her house was a couple blocks from the school, totally wiped out of its foundation. Thank God the family's okay, but this is an outstanding lady, and we've got contact with her, and we're wanting to go back out and help them rebuild. There's some guys from the church that are awesome builders. Actually, when the tornadoes hit in East Bernstadt, they rebuilt a couple of homes. It takes a lot of good Christian people to pray over this, but the lady does have some kind of insurance, has some kind of money, but it's not going to be enough to rebuild everything that they need for a family that size. So we plan on going back maybe the end of August and September, and we're working on that right now. But, all the donations, if some churches want to get involved in this, they can send it to Freedom Christian Fellowship. And that would be a huge help. But we're trying to get the slab that she's living on reevaluated and see if we can rebuild there. But it's just a working process. But we're knowing that God's going to work it out. We have no doubt.
Oh, praise God! We're living in such a time, Mr. JD, that a lot of people, it's a shame to say, but it's the truth, take so much for granted. And these people that have been through these great tragedies, they don't take anything for granted anymore. And when you guys show up with these items and with help and care and just there for them, it just lifts them up so high.
Oh, it does, absolutely. And, so many people don't understand. They see what they see on TV, but they don't understand that the government are bringing in trailers by the truckloads and putting locks on them that these people can't get the supplies they need. And the front runners and the front liners of the whole relief seems to be the church. And church are nonprofit organizations, and it's the good Christian people. I'm telling you, I was so overwhelmed by how our trip was supported out to Oklahoma. Just donations from businesses and from other churches. There were so many I can't name, but one church in particular donated $1,500 check just so we could go and trip expenses. And it's just God. It's all it is.
Praise God. And
Amen.
That is so wonderful. Now, you've been to Oklahoma. Where are some other places that you visited or want to try to get over and help?
We've been to Rainsville, Alabama, in the Birmingham area, where the EF5 touched down back in 2011. 80 people were killed in the community we went to. It was a total devastation. I think Oklahoma is almost a mirror to it. A lot of similarities there. That was their first trip we went on, and that's where God really put in my heart that that's where the ministry that I need to be a part of. And we went on a lot of faith and a little money. But it wasn't near the magnitude of our last trip. We collected about 350 backpacks, just 3 guys, and now we've built up to a team of 8 with 1,050 on the Oklahoma trip. And I'm praying, wherever God leads us next, He just keeps multiplying. And we're learning more from each trip. We're learning what to do and what not to do. So,
Right.
God's molding us on each trip, and I'm just excited for how He's going to lead our ministry in the future.